Hey there, good morning all. Sorry for the delay in getting started. I'm a few minutes late today. I lost track of time in the morning, and so here we are. So I was scrambling to set up everything, and I hope some of you are able to join. Let me just make sure that the live stream is going okay. Waiting to see if I'm already connected. I can't see the stream picking up, so please hold on, bear with me. This is the fun. Here we go. All set. Okay, guys, let us get started with what's happening for today. And yeah, there is always curveballs when you do a live stream as an amateur content creator. So today was one of those. There is a lot of optimism in the Wall Street, and we are set to open strong. S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones futures all gained sharply pre-market, propelled by signals that US and China are nearing the framework for a sweeping trade agreement. And both governments have confirmed progress ahead of Trump and Xi Jinping summit, which is scheduled for Thursday in South Korea. The Treasury yields have kicked higher, and global equities rallied overnight, reflecting a brisk shift to risk-on sentiment after weeks of uncertainty. Federal Reserve is poised for second rate cut. It's widely expected that there will be a quarter point cut this week, the second such reduction in 2025. However, the belief is that this is in an effort to support the labor market and keep the growth on track. And investors feel that future cuts will be slower and there will be longer pauses going forward because of last week's softer than expected inflation data. Now, there are warning signs in the short-term money markets, and analysts expect the Fed to also halt its balance sheet reduction, aiming to stabilize crucial government debt and mortgage bond markets. And when you look at the overall trends, big tech and M&A seems to be the focus out here. This is a pivotal week for corporate earnings, with major technology firms including Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta, and Microsoft all set to report their third quarter results. Expectations remain high, with analysts watching for further upside driven by robust consumer demand and AI-related investments. In biotech, Novartis announced a $12 billion acquisition of Avidity Biosciences in one of the year's largest deals. Now, if you look at JP Morgan and Walmart, they are both maintaining staffing levels despite industry pressures. Boeing defense workers continuing their strike in St. Louis is another aspect to watch. And big tech faces new scrutiny after Australia's consumer watchdog sued Microsoft for allegedly misleading consumers on AI service renewals. So overall, I think there are these events that are happening. Netflix, Amazon, and Six Flags all moved notably in response to quarterly results. And you have sector notes, and which consists of South Korea's KOSPI going above 4,000 for the first time. It has surged on the optimism around APEC and the US-China thaw. Commodities were mixed. Gold pulled back as traders rotated out of safe havens, while oil steadied near recent highs amidst cautious OPEC talks. So I would say that when we do our TradingView platform analysis, we'll look at gold, and I've got 2 or 3 support levels that I want to talk about when it comes to gold. And I think gold may probably give in a little bit, but the US dollar seems to be getting weaker against other major currencies. So I'll give you some levels for that as well. So if US dollar goes down, gold denominated by US dollar should naturally go up unless there is structurally something weak for gold. So we have to keep those 2 things in mind. There could probably be opportunities to buy dollar cost average gold before its next leg up, because at the end of the day, the Fed is going to end up printing more money. That means the gold is bound to get much stronger going forward. Now, Hot Dog has also joined us. Intelia ranked 50%. Yes, we'll check that out, Hot Dog. Let's go to the TradingView platform and see what's happening out there. And thanks for bearing with me. I was a bit late this morning, but Such is our story. Now let us go on and have a look at S&P 500 futures. In S&P 500 futures, you'd see a small red line out here. I want to expand this so that you can see. The red just indicates that we opened higher and we are going lower. That's all. But the most significant thing is the gap up that you see here. This is a China enthusiasm. Now, the way I personally feel about this is that Trump is doing what a typical builder would do, promising something always to keep up your motivation while the building gets delayed and the delivery gets delayed, talking about great things every now and then so that you come to him with a complaint, but you go back home very optimistic that you bought the right property. That's the kind of thing that happens whenever you come down. There are a few rabbits pulled out of the hat and the market starts to go up. Sooner rather than later, that may not work. So I'm very keen to see what happens with this China-US deal. But remember, despite whatever good comes out of that deal, the tariffs, which were at around 2% on an average, have already gone up 17%. That has to amount to something. And NVDA is more valuable than all the financial sector in the US put together. That is banks like JP Morgan, Citibank, everything put together. NVDA is worth more than that. And where did that value come from? All of them came from orders placed on them by the likes of Microsoft, Google, Meta, and these companies. And if these companies are going to show spectacular earnings, despite having pumped in that much of money into NVIDIA, then I begin to wonder what would happen if AI actually starts giving revenue and all the data center investments start to give us a return. That's the optimistic way of looking at it. But the first question is, how can these companies like Meta, Microsoft and all show equal or better profit than before after having pumped in so much of money into AI? And remember, all these data centers, they have obsolescence cycle of 2.5 to 3 years to the best of my knowledge, which means all those GPUs have to be replaced with upgraded GPUs, which also means that to recover the money, they are going to sell the older GPUs, and there will be people buying it and setting up cost-effective data centers which will compete with these advanced data centers which have the latest GPUs. So I'm thinking all this optimism is misplaced, but whatever I may think, what really matters is what the market thinks. The market is buying it all up and it's going up. So I have no option but to further reduce my shorts and go long on the market. That's what I'm thinking. I'd like to hear from you guys what your thoughts are about the market at this point of time. Let's look at NASDAQ. It's also up, and I'm going to just pull this out a little bit. So for today, NASDAQ futures resistance is around 25,905.79. And remember that we are already up here and the Xi Jinping meeting has not happened. So one of two things could happen. We could probably hit out here, wait here, and tomorrow the resistance goes up further and we stay within this range, and after the meeting happens, we start coming down. Buy the news, sell the rumor. Or we could have a red candle today and another red candle tomorrow, still keeping us within this diagonal. So those possibilities are there. Market sentiment has become bullish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also above average. So things are looking pretty good for both S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Now look at the dollar index, right? Let me go into the weekly time frame. So this is the line I can draw for the dollar index. So dollar index is traveling along this diagonal line of support. Now if we go into a daily chart and recalibrate our chart, so this is where the line is. I'm just going to adjust this a little bit so that it's much more accurate and precise. Okay, so here we are. We have had multiple hits out here And if we go back to the past, yeah, this is still perfect. I pull it out here. I got some touch points here as well, almost. So let me go back here now. What I would be looking out here is the count of the number of hits we make out here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. So any further hits on this diagonal line of support is going to mean that there is more probability of it breaking through downwards than bouncing back up. And right now we have the support of one more line of support out here. This is this line of support at around 97.23. When both of them are combined, that maths doesn't work, so it will be very strong. But when they're individually available, they would allow a breakdown. So anytime we have already had 4 hits on the line of support, the 5th one onwards, the probability of breaking down is higher than probability of jumping back, even if the line of support was confirmed earlier. Now let's look at VIX. VIX has come down significantly, looking very, very placid and unthreatening. Now let's go to gold. I was saying that we'll talk a little bit more about gold support levels. So as I mentioned earlier, we had a support at 4041. We are already below that today at 4032.760. So the next support for us today is going to be 3956.41. And the support after that for today is going to be 3891.220. As far as I'm concerned, I think once 4000 is broken, I think INF could be right in this case. Once 4000 is broken, then I think we can definitely expect 3956 to come. 4000 is a psychological round figure. So I would look forward to start dollar cost averaging when we come to 3949. And it will also depend on when we get the China-US trade deal news. Once the China-US trade deal news is over, what other good news is there to perk up the market? Unless Congress reopens. But if Congress reopens, then we have the Epstein file issues, and that will destabilize the environment. So we'll have to see what happens out there. But if the US-China deal is already over and we reach 3959, I'll definitely be a dollar cost averaging buyer. I'm still holding my Z gold out here. Put call ratio, mildly bullish. And we go to the Canadian 5-year bond. It's starting to come down a little bit because experts out here are saying that despite everything, Canadian Federal Reserve or Canadian Central Bank is going to reduce interest rate another 25 basis points. So that's the news out here. Now let's go on to indicators and let's see where they were left. So we are going to break out of this parallel channel today, and our resistance for today is going to be 6870.28, and our support for today is going to be 6802.31. Market sentiment is still bearish, MACD is bullish, momentum is above average, plenty of room on the RSI. So I think market sentiment will also improve today based on what we saw in the futures, and we are going to make an attempt to confirm the top of this parallel channel to be a support. We have done that in the past, but we have always come down. So I would focus on this diagonal line of resistance and see what happens today. That's going to be the resistance that I'm focusing on. The momentum upward is more than the momentum downward. Same thing for NASDAQ. NASDAQ is going to be confirming above this support line of 25,198.61. I am thinking that we are going to confirm this support, which means that in future when we come down here, we'll bounce back up. We could have 4 hits, and after the 4 hits, the 5th hit onwards, the probability of breaking down becomes much higher than probability of going up. And our resistance for today is going to be 25,537. Let's go on to QQQ, which shows that we are up a robust 1.29% in pre-market trades. We are already above this parallel channel. So I'm going to pull out this parallel channel further. And I would say that for us today, the support is going to be 620.87. So those of you who have been long so far, who have ignored the fundamentals and focused on the technicals and the momentum and the sentiment, not even the sentiment, the momentum and the technicals, hats off to you and for your fortitude, and you're reaping the just rewards. I had been focusing on fundamentals, market sentiment is also bearish, and I have paid the price for it. But I have a lot of profits that I booked earlier. I'm sitting on huge profits. So if the market breaks down before the end of the year, I would still be good. And if it doesn't, then I'll use my losses to reduce my tax burden. That's my plan. So I'm not too unhappy either, but I'll definitely look at unwinding some of my shorts a little more today. Let's go on to AI. Now in AI, we have NVDA, which is up 2.28%. And you can see that we had a support out here of 183.53, which we were struggling to break through earlier. Now we have broken past it. And today we are on the verge of breaking another resistance at 191.03. We are opening very strong. And we have a target of 195.78 that we had to overcome, and by the looks of it, it could be possible. So things are looking really good for NVIDIA. Market sentiment is bearish, but I bet when the market opens, MACD will become bullish. Market sentiment may end up neutral today and start becoming bullish tomorrow. Momentum is also picking up. I think the US-China deal is a big deal for the market. Meta is up 1.52% in pre-market trades, and it's jumped way above 737.18. It's looking pretty good. Google is up 1.90% and it's plotting new heights. Now let us see if we have a bullish pennant breakout out here. Let me show you what this looks like. This is what I'm talking about. We have a breakout out here, so I'm going to take a measure of the bull flag. I'm going to take a very conservative measure and put it at the breakout spot. We are looking at 272.75 for Google. And we have Amazon, which is up 1.73%. And it's broken out all the new resistances that I would have plotted today. The next resistance is 230.60. Apple is up 0.96. It's converting this diagonal line of resistance into a diagonal line of support. And we have this topping tail which has been taken out in the early morning session. So Apple is getting out of the woods in my opinion. So if we close above 265.60, then I would say that we have extinguished the topping tail and there is no bearish effect on Apple. Then I'll start considering this to be a flagpole and this to be a bullish pennant and a breakout above. Microsoft is up 1.44% in pre-market trades, and you can see a cup and handle pattern out here. At least that's what it looks like to me. And if I look at this, this could be a reverse head and shoulder pattern, which again is bullish. So overall, I would say that Microsoft pattern looks bullish to me. And we have Tesla, which is up 1.30% in pre-market trades. Very good support at 420.64. And for today the support is 433.68. And our resistance should be in the region of 470.94. We have Oracle, which is up 1.13% in pre-market trades. And the diagonal line of support is going to give a very solid support at 272.38. And for today, I would peg the support at 280.94. And I would have the resistance pegged at somewhere around 291.70 for Oracle. AMD is up 2.42%, breaking out significantly. There's a huge gap up. We have a support at around 236.86. And today we are going to confirm this support, it looks like. And if we do confirm this support, then again, this is going to be a foundation building out here. And we probably have a new pattern building up, and we'll see whether it's a bullish or a bearish pattern. Next, we have SMCI, which is up 2.90%. And for today, the resistance is going to be 50.32. And the support is going to be 47.64. Broadcom is up 2.34%. It is broken out of the bullish pennant. And for today, the support is going to be at 353.79. And we are poised to confirm this support by the end of the day, because I'm pretty sure we'll close above 358.22. If that happens, then we have bullish pennant breakout, and I'll put a new target out here, which is going to be a very robust target. We look at Palantir, which is up 2.24% in pre-market trades, and it's got resistance at 189.75. And if we break above that, then we have a resistance today at somewhere around, I would say, 195.52. Look at SMH. SMH is up 1.95% in pre-market trade. We have this diagonal line of resistance, which is being converted into a line of support in early pre-market trades. And I would say that today's support is 354.35, and I don't see any resistance out here. We'll see what the market does when it opens. Tempus AI is up 3.27%, and it has got resistance at 9.30, which has been converted into a support today. And if we happen to close above 93.42, we'll confirm this line of support. We still have a topping tail out here at 104.46. We'll have to see if we are making movement towards that. And then we have Celsius Holding, which I was talking about, having a very bullish pattern. It's up 1.03% today. So I think Celsius is starting to show a lot more movement towards our target. I'm getting more optimistic about Celsius Holdings. Now let's go on and have a look at Genomics. Hot Dog has been talking about Genomics all this morning. And yes, for sure, pre-market prime is down 7.88%. Friends, this is what happens to cutting-edge technology companies which do not have revenue source, because they are more sensitive to things going wrong, and investors are usually jittery. So we are already down below this diagonal line of resistance. So this has become a bear flag now, and bear channel right now. So I'm going to just pull this down. It's more like a bearish pennant out here, for lack of a better term. And I'm going to adjust this a little bit, and I'm going to call this a bear channel. And I would say that for today, the support is going to be at 4.97. Pre-market, we are already at 4.95. So I'm going to let any commentary lie to the side right now. Let us see more candles develop, and let's make a clear channel. Overall, it is totally bearish at this point of time. Intelia is down 42.74%. This is what Hot Dog was talking about. Hot Dog is saying that there was some bad news about Intelia. Shares of gene editing firm, this is October 27 news, down 60% to 61.02 pre-market. Company pauses patient dosing in late stage trials of its experimental gene editing treatment called NextZ in a type of protein buildup disease. Intelia says pause follows severe liver side effects in one patient dosed in late stage trial. Co-consulting experts and regulators on next steps. Over 450 patients estimated to have received NextZ so far, company said. Up to last close, stock down 120% year to date. Good Lord, that's really bad news. It's shaking up the entire market for genomics. This has got to weigh on the index as well, because people who lose money here and have margin calls on this side might probably sell some profitable sectors to take the market. Now let's look at Caribou Biosciences. It's down 1.61% in pre-market trades. It's up 1.61% in pre-market trades. It seems that Caribou is unaffected. It has got a long-term cup and handle pattern which is pretty bullish, and more recent double bottom pattern for which we have already met the targets. So I would be careful watching Caribou Biosciences. Beam Therapeutics is down 8.87%. I think the market is looking at companies which are working on liver indications, and probably that's why select companies are suffering. I bet CRISPR might also suffer. We'll see that when we come to CRISPR Therapeutics. We are already down significantly, so we are in a bearish pattern out here. We'll see the candles that emerge from now onwards. We are at 25.49, which is somewhere out here, which I would have typically said as a support on our way down. So since this support is already taken off, I would say the next support for us is likely to be 24.26 for Beam Therapeutics. Altimmune is up 1.52%. This diagonal line of support is continuing to perform its role. And then let's look at Editas. Editas is down 8.60%. We still have support at 3.22. Illumina is up 1.19%. Sorry, Editas was 8.6. Illumina is up 1.19%. We are still trying to break through 103.04, and that's been difficult for us. But we have this double bottom pattern out here. So if we break out above this, then I have an interesting target to plot out, and probably this diagonal line of resistance will then become a line of support at that point of time. We'll look forward to that. CRISPR has got down 4.59%. Definitely CRISPR also is taking a hit, but CRISPR has got a strong balance sheet. It has got other sources of revenue. So it's not like Intelia or Prime. So let us look at the support that we have out here, which had to be at 66.38 for today. Right now we are at 64.51. So reluctantly, I'm going to mark this as a line of resistance. But the good news is that we have not confirmed below it. So whatever candle forms today, we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. And if that next candle for tomorrow doesn't close below the closing for today, then we would not have confirmed this resistance, which means we have a decent chance of breaking out above it. So let us see what happens out there. And I'm also going to show you one worrisome development out here. I'm just going to take a brush. I'm going to put one here, and another one here. Okay, we may not like this, but we should not exclude this probability. So if I were to take a target from here and put it on the breakout, then I think we are looking at a target of 56.05. So if I'm looking to buy CRISPR Therapeutics, my personal opinion is that I'll wait for it to come closer to 56.5, and then I would like to see if it's going to bounce off 53.57. So if it does bounce off 53.57, I could begin my dollar cost averaging, hoping that we'll move on our way back up again. Because fundamentally, CRISPR is still a pretty strong company compared to everything else in our genomic watch list. Allogene is up 1.67%, and we have a resistance at 1.35. Grail is up 3.09%. We still have this topping tail to be taken out, so we are not yet out of the danger. But I am thinking some of the people who were spooked by Prime and others, they must have moved their money into Grail or Illumina, companies which are strong and which don't have any therapy in the clinical trial area, but who are already revenue making and yet in genomics area. So you're seeing Illumina getting some money and Grail getting some money. PSEB is up 3.47. See, that's the same case with PSEB. It's in the same category like Illumina and Grail. So it has also garnered some support, and it has taken off the topping tail. So we are looking at more positives for PSEB. So if we close the day above 2.08, I think we would have taken out this topping tail, and we can start building up a foundation and further patterns to show either bullish or bearish divergence or anything of that sort. Now let us look at ARCG. ARCG is looking pretty good. Even though it has dropped, you would see that it's on a bullish channel. So if you take this candle out here and you look at one set of candles giving support to a bull channel, I would say that ARCG is still overall doing pretty good. And at this point of time, even though we have dropped today 2.04, it's a culmination of all those liver-oriented companies having huge falls like 60% drop and so on and so forth. So it's all being reflected in ARCG, but it has got some strong companies in it. So I don't see much problems for ARCG. We'll wait and watch a few more candles to see how it goes. But right now, it's not looking very bearish to me. Market sentiment is also bullish. MACD is of course bearish, but momentum is still above average. So I'll wait and see a few more candles before I make a call on it. Vertex is down 0.12%. It still has got support at 414.45. And we have Ginkgo Bioworks, which is up 1.55%. Again, Ginkgo Bioworks would be a kind of company that's in the line of flavor like Illumina and PSEB and Grail. They could probably get more support today and maybe hold on to the gains and capture the genomics allocation in portfolio of investors who want to have a certain percentage in genomics, who would have taken money out of Prime. Next, let's go on to Precision, which is up 2.08% in pre-market trades. And I think Precision will have support today at 4.26. It's starting to look pretty good. We have to start looking at some kind of positive news coming out of Precision. Eli Lilly is down 0.23%, still within the parallel channel. And we have got Ultragenics up 1.40%. This is a bullish pennant here, my friends, in my opinion. And we also have a target for the cup and handle at 35.04. And I believe we are moving in that direction. RKT for Inf, it's up 1.62%. It is starting to look good, Inf, even though I cannot say that it's absolutely bullish. But right now, I think the bear flag has been broken to a certain extent. But we have this topping tail that we need to take off. So I'm going to watch what is happening today. And if we close above 18.45, then I would start getting optimistic about this, because this gap down will need to be filled, and that will act as a magnet upwards. And we would have broken above 50% of the bear flag pull, and we would have taken out the bear flag, and momentum sentiment, the topping, we would have taken out the topping tail, and the market momentum will start improving. MACD is wildly bullish. Momentum is above average, plenty of room for it to pick up further on the RSI. And our earnings result are coming on the 30th of October 2025. So if RKT does come out with something, positive catalyst, it would start looking good out here. So with that said, let's go on and have a look at currencies, and we are looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin will move along with the indices. So I'm looking forward to us getting into this parallel line of support. And right now, the candle is looking like a topping tail, but we have plenty of time to go. The bearish market sentiment is moving towards neutral. MACD is wildly bullish, plenty of room on the RSI. And we are already up 0.53% in pre-market trades. And Ethereum is up 0.36%. Sorry, Ethereum is down 0.39% in pre-market trades. And Ethereum generally follows where Bitcoin goes in. And I think Ethereum will also probably get a little bit of support today. And as far as Ethereum is concerned, I would say that it will get support at 3949.93. And it could get resistance at 4371.92. And I've got interest to look at XRP. XRP is down 0.93% in pre-market trades. XRP is likely to get some support at 2.60. I would watch this. Market sentiment is almost neutral. MACD is absolutely bullish. Momentum is above average. So let us see what happens when the market opens. And I'm not yet going into BTCD. Hot Dog had explained to me how BTCD works, but I've still not wrapped my head around it completely. But I'm just going to do a trend out here and ask Hot Dog what he thinks it means. So I've got this bullish trend line out here, which shows me that we are on a bull channel. We have been moving upward. And if we look at recent patterns out here, I do not see any bullish or bearish pattern. The only thing I would say is that we have a huge topping tail, which is still in effect. And we have this diagonal line of support, which is holding on for today. So we are up 0.30% today. So in my opinion, we'll have a support at 59.64. And we would probably have a resistance somewhere around 60.08. But in the long term, because this topping tail is in effect, I am thinking that we would hit this diagonal line of support. We have already hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 6, 7, 8 times. So now if we hit this line, the chances of us breaking down is significantly higher than the chances of us going up. So Hot Dog, if you're still online and if you're watching, just let me know what it means if BTC.D starts to break down. So just let me know out there. That will help me to make a decision. So BTC.D, more of an indicator. It's like looking at wicks, okay? So what does it mean if it falls down further? Is it bullish for Bitcoin or is it bearish for Bitcoin, in your opinion? Okay. That said, while we wait for Hot Dog to respond, let me, if it breaks down to 55, altcoins will become more independent. Okay, got it. Got it. So I think we are still looking for altcoin to start picking up. Alt season has not yet come in, but we are waiting for that to happen. So in light of that, I would say that XRP and Ethereum need not necessarily follow Bitcoin if we start breaking down below this. And I think the strength of Bitcoin would differ from the strength of Ethereum and XRP once we fall down from here. And right now, I think Bitcoin attracts more traction than the altcoins. And if we fall down below 0.55, altcoins will have more traction than Bitcoin. That's the way I'm thinking about it. And Hot Dog, if you think the same way, just put a thumbs up out there. Otherwise, let me know that I'm thinking wrong. Okay, that said, what else do we have out here? Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and do some pre-market trades and start going long. We have a window of opportunity until the trade talks happen between Xi Jinping and Trump, or we get a news that the meeting is not happening. Thanks for the thumbs up, Hot Dog. So altcoin season is yet to start. I think Ethereum and XRP is likely to go down while Bitcoin continues to move with the indices. So we'll watch this diagonal line of support and we'll watch for 55 on BTC.D. That's what we're going to do going forward. So thanks a lot for the knowledge, Hot Dog. Thank you very much for sharing your ideas. And thanks to everyone who has been watching. I'll say bye for now and I'll catch up with you again in the next video. See you later. Have a great day.